Trevor Noah made a video in September about a well-known conservative journalist named Tomi Lahren. She posts videos on Facebook of her political and social opinions, and I like her personally, but Trevor is not a fan.
Before the break, we were talking about how Facebook is both dominating the news industry and maybe destroying it. And we saw one of the most popular voices at the forefront, Tomi Lahren.
So right off the bat, you say Facebook is destroying the entire news industry because there's one journalist on there who is on the opposite political spectrum as you, who's popular. Okay.
And these videos routinely get millions of views. Right? Tomi's videos get shared more than the Kardashians share the game. And
alright guys, I may not be a huge fan of Trevor's politics, but I must admit, the guy is a comedic genius. I mean, the one thing that kept me going through this video is how hilarious and witty Trevor is. So at least you guys have that to look forward to.
A lot of viewers like you at home might never have even seen her, because Facebook doesn't think you want to see her, because you probably listed your favorite things as fair trade coffee, or Missy Elliott, and the bird from Bernie Sanders' podium, who, by the way, is now also with Hillary. Sellouts!
I mean, Bernie kinda was a sellout. He claimed to be anti-establishment and corporations, and then, for some cash, turns around and endorses the most corrupt politician to ever exist. She is more concerned with receiving money from the Clinton Foundation from shitty countries who hate us than she is concerned in what's in the best interest for the people of America and the veterans, but that's a different video.
So anyway, Tomi is basically like a super famous actor in a foreign country, except the foreign country is your country.
Can we all just listen to that amazing sentence again? I want you guys to be assured that you didn't mishear that.
Tomi is basically like a super famous actor in a foreign country, except the foreign country is your country.
I'm not sure why he complicated the hell out of that sentence, because wouldn't she just be a famous actor in your country based on what you just said, Trevor? I think he was trying to be funny, but I'm just here to have a good time and laugh at him, because I can't laugh with him.
And if you haven't watched one of Tomi's videos yet, you are missing out. Do you guys remember the speech Jesse Williams gave at the BET Awards? Yeah? You saw it. It was all big, all online, right? He spoke out on police brutality, racial inequality, the co-opting of black culture, and a lot of people loved it. But Tomi had a different take.
Before I play Tomi's take on this, police brutality is not an unfair racial bias like the progressives are trying to make it out to be, Trevor. It is a rare occurrence, believe it or not. We're just shown all of the worst parts. And yes, there are cops who have done wrong, and those individuals should be held accountable more often than they are. But these people are painting cops as a whole like they're this oppressive force with a racial bias, which just isn't true. The people who commit more crimes are going to have more negative run-ins with the cops. That's just common sense. Individuals deal with the police, Trevor, not groups, so stop grouping and generalizing everyone based on color. Fucking racist.
I'm sorry, Jesse, but I won't be apologizing for my whiteness, just as you don't need to apologize for your blackness. It's not white people working to divide America, it's you! You and Beyonce and Jada Pinkett Smith and Al Sharpton.
Adding this random and unnecessary space because I got copyright claim, even though I used this for critique and never broke any laws, but you know. And I'm not taking credit for Trevor or Jesse's video, guys, just in case any of you were confused about that.
Do you see yourself as a victim? If so, I feel sorry for you. For someone who wants equal rights, it sure sounds like you prefer special treatment. It sure sounds like you'd like a gold star at the end of the day just for being born. Get over yourself.
True.
God damn! So much passion and energy! I'm black and I've never been that excited about the BET Awards. She was at home and she was like, oh, hell no, this speech is bullshit and 2 Chainz lost? Oh, hell no!
You're hilarious, Trevor, really. But now that I'm done laughing, I would like to take a second and look at his speech and see why Tomi may have had an issue with it.
What we've been doing is looking at the data, and we know that police somehow manage to de-escalate, disarm, and not kill white people every day. So what's going to happen is we are going to have equal rights and justice in our own country, or we will restructure their function and ours.
They managed to not kill white people. So the police haven't killed any white people, even though it was documented that 987 people were killed by the police in 2015, and that white people made up 50% of that, and black people 26%. Whites make up 62% of the population, and black people 13%. So they killed nearly twice as many white people, despite black people being responsible for 62% of the robberies, 57% of murders, and 45% of assaults, while making up only 13% of the population. That's just the facts. Facts can't be racist, I'm sorry. But yet you're spreading this message and polarizing people for their color and telling them that the system hates them, while you're on that stage as one of very many rich and famous black motherfuckers accepting an award.
There has been no war that we have not fought and died on the front lines of. There has been no job we haven't done. There's no tax they haven't levied against us, and we've paid all of them. But freedom is somehow always conditional here. You're free, they keep telling us. But she would have been alive if she hadn't acted so free.
And the crowd goes wild. Freedom doesn't mean you can infringe on other people's rights, or resist arrest when you're a criminal and the police are trying to take you in. Maybe those people would be alive if they didn't do things like resisting arrest, which black people are also statistically more likely to do, and pointing a shotgun at cops for 3 hours while using her 5-year-old kid as a human shield. I know you don't want to believe this because then you wouldn't be able to cry oppression every time something doesn't go your way, but cops as a whole are not racist. They do not go around shooting random innocent black people. They go after criminals because that's their job, to keep innocent civilians safe from criminals and harm. Once again, the police are not perfect, but there are also many instances of white people being shot while unarmed. Oh look, here's about 20 examples that I found with a 10-second Google search. Cool.
Let's get a couple things straight. Just a little side note. The burden of the brutalized is not to comfort the bystander. That's not our job, all right? Stop with all that. If you have a critique for the resistance, for our resistance, then you better have an established record of critique of our oppression. If you have no interest in equal rights for black people, then do not make suggestions to those who do. Sit down.
Please give me an example of someone of any relevance besides 90-year-olds in nursing homes that is against equal rights for black people. Also, please give me an example of a right that you do not have that white people do. I'll wait. I also love all the oppressed, rich and famous, loved by millions black people that they keep zooming in on. Because color is all that matters when talking about society, right?
We've been floating this country on credit for centuries, yo. And we're done watching and waiting while this invention called whiteness uses and abuses us.
You have got to be kidding me. He literally just said, the invention of whiteness. Just imagine if a white person went on stage and complained about the invention of blackness. They'd get shot on the scene and everyone would cheer. Try thinking, what would it be like the other way around more often? I find that most of the time it wouldn't be okay the other way around, and that is what racism is. This is what Tomi means by special treatment. You can say whatever you want and get away with it because you're black, and use the excuse that your ancestors were oppressed a long time ago, and that means that you should be treated differently than whites and held to lower standards than white people. No, you don't have anything owed to you because of your color, sir.
Burying black people out of sight and out of mind while extracting our culture, our dollars, our entertainment like oil.
Black people have monumental success in the entertainment and sports industries. What the hell are you talking about?
Black gold, ghettoizing and demeaning our creations, then stealing them, gentrifying our genius, and then trying us on like costumes before discarding our bodies like rinds of strange fruit. The thing is that just because we're magic doesn't mean we're not real. Thank you.
This is just really sad, in my opinion, that they even let something like this air on TV, because just polarizing people that much based on their race when we're equal. And no, your color does not make you magical. Being black doesn't make you magical. Being white doesn't make you magical. Your personality is what makes you magical. And even then, magic doesn't exist. Your character and the way you treat people. And I have to say that yours is pretty rotten, Jesse.
Now, we could go into the fact that Jesse Williams' speech wasn't actually anti-white people, it was anti-oppression, but that's not what this is about. This is about a crazy talented person named Tomi Lahren and her amazing ability to take almost any topic and turn it into fire.
Make America great again means being able to say God bless America loudly and proudly. Call me old-fashioned, but I still believe the thing in your pants really isn't up for negotiation. Can't say tranny, transvestite, illegal alien, Indian, redskin. We get it, you're gay.
She makes some good points. I, too, get irritated when people try to tell me what I can and cannot say. Words are just words, and if you can't handle words, then maybe you should stay in the house all day and avoid the internet at all costs. But just don't expect everyone else to change for your sensibilities. You need to learn how to deal with the world yourself, not the other way around.
Please tell me in what way Black Americans are not equal. I'm waiting. I know the feminists are gonna go crazy over this. Guess what, Beyonce? White people like your music too. He's also married to the biggest sack of lies to ever squeeze into a rectangular pantsuit. Radical Islamic terror is the culprit. All out pansy fest. God bless from Dallas. Good night and take care.
Holy shit. Radical Islamic terror is the culprit? And all those other things she said? What a monster. Also, I think the biggest sack of lies to ever squeeze into a rectangular pantsuit is a pretty accurate description of Hillary Clinton, Tommy. Nice.
Wow. That is the least woke, most awake person I have ever seen. And now I'm gonna blow your mind. She's only 24 years old. Yeah, and she's already angrier than 50 Clint Eastwoods. Tomi has this presence with an unnerving intensity. She may be young, but she'll surprise you. She's like a child soldier, you know? I didn't even know you guys had them in this country.
Yeah, why isn't a journalist allowed to have passion in their voice about issues that they care about, Trevor? She doesn't even sound that angry to me, but she's allowed to be angry and has good reason to, honestly. But it's mostly just passion.
Her video about Colin Kaepernick's not standing for the national anthem, that, my friends, is her smash hits.
Let me just say, I think it was completely effed up for Colin Kaepernick to do that. He is a rich and famous football player in America, and he honestly does not deserve to play in the NFL if he can't even stand for the national anthem. And that's not just exclusive to America. They should just have to follow those rules. It takes a lot of arrogance and self-importance to do something like that, and it's not just because he knelt during the national anthem dedicated to the veterans who sacrificed their lives. It's the reasoning that really gets to me. I mean, he lives in a country that has given him the freedom and opportunity to have this much success, and you'd think he'd be grateful to live in this country like so many others would die to live in a Western culture such as America. And I hate how it's trendy now with millennials to hate America. They think they're morally superior, when really they're just spoiled, ungrateful little shitheads. Also,
America, fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah! America, fuck yeah! Freedom is the only way, yeah! Terrorists, your game is through, 'cause now you have to answer to America, fuck yeah! So lick my butt and suck on my balls.
Colin Kaepernick Kaepernick, I've got some final thoughts for you, bud. So let me go ahead and eviscerate this mouth diarrhea for you sentence by sentence. Here we go. Colin, I support the First Amendment. I support your right to freedom of speech and expression. Go for it, bud. It's this country, the country that you have so much disdain for, that allows you the right to speak your mind. It protects your right to be a whiny, indulgent, attention-seeking crybaby. It also protects my right to shred you for it. And Colin, if this country disgusts you so much, leave.
Wow, Tommy, that statement is so ignorant. Kaepernick can't leave. America's the only place that plays football. But I must say, I do love this logic. Shut up and be happy that no one forces you to shut up. Because that's what makes this country great, is that you can complain. So stop complaining.
No, what she said was that she supports his right to say that, even though she very strongly disagrees and thinks he's wrong. I will defend people's rights to say what they want, no matter how stupid it is, but we also have the right to shred him on why we think he's a bratty idiot. I mean, freedom is awesome, isn't it, Colin? Because if you tried to pull what you just did in Middle Eastern countries, if you even deviated in the slightest from their laws and tried to express an independent thought of your own in public, they just cut your head off, which is why I think you'd be much happier there. Yeah, you may be dead, but at least you won't have to live in this oppressive shithole invention called America.
Now, you might be wondering, Trevor, hey, why do you care what some random person on Facebook says? Because that's just it. She's not random. You know how many views her Kaepernick video got? 65 million. Yeah. Do you realize how much that is? That's way more than all of cable news combined, plus network news, plus the country's top newspapers. People, her video was more popular than that video of the turtle having sex with a shoe. Way more popular than that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at him go.
Yeah, Trevor, there are a lot of people out there who have respect for their country. People are tired of the ridiculousness rising in this generation, and they found someone who makes videos expressing similar thoughts to their own. They found someone who understands and won't call them a bigot simply for having these opinions, which are far more respectable than the trashy attitudes of so many millennials today.
Hey there, thanks for subscribing to our new YouTube channel. You're probably thinking, but I didn't. I know.
Well, at least you got that right.
Which is fine, but now you're thinking about subscribing. You should really just subscribe. Just do it. Subscribe. Who said that? Subscribe. Who's saying these things? Subscribe now. What?
I have some final thoughts for you, Trevor. Even though you probably won't see this, but maybe when you get fired for the drastic drop in views, you won't be as popular and who knows what you'll watch. Why can't we disagree with each other without thinking the other person is a complete heartless piece of garbage? Honestly, now, I think Colin is a shitty person for taking a knee during the national anthem, but that is because of the selfishness and disrespect that an act like that requires. But just differences in opinion shouldn't make you assume that Tomi is mad all the time. You're just using the mentality of a child. I wish we could act like adults and discuss disagreements without hating each other. Tomi said something similar to this when she did her interview with Trevor, and I was just like, yes, girl. But of course, Trevor just blew right over that. That video is a laugh fest of its own, and I'll link it in the description. I might do a video on that as well, because the things that his audience gasps at Tomi for, such as, I don't see color, while Trevor tries to twist that into her being racist, is pretty amazing. I'm finally done with this video now. Thank you for watching. P.S. I'm doing a live stream on my channel this Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Priority Pod, some Australians, and more if you want to check it out.